Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Jesus Christ, that's bloody awful. Dear God. Oh, that is horrendous. Oh, God. Ugh. Ugh. Heavy. Ugh. Oh, that's horrific. Good evening, darlings. How the devil are you? And welcome to Tuesday Night Live. It's an absolute joy to be with you. Oh, God above. Oh dear. That is horrendous. Absolute. Mickey Jeffries, you great big lovely man you. Mickey has very kindly sent a £5 super chat while saying evening. Oh, good evening to you, Mickey. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Very much appreciated. And that will go to a jolly good cause that I'll tell you about in a minute. But before we crack on with the mainstream of tonight's symposium, let us greet some community members. Oh, yes. Matt _ good evening. Jimmy Quinn, hello. Mickey, we've already said hello. Trace the Greenwood, fabulous. Simon of Project MGTF, lovely. Joe Cox is here, splendid. General Cheeseburger says good evening, conscript. Good evening to you, sir. Long way up, short way down. Who else we got? Gosh, you have been busy. Everything Cars, fantastic. Oh dear, sorry about that, Cheeseburger. Not sorry. Right, okay, Matt, that's splendid. Hi, Boaty says everything Cars. Hello to you. Right, okay. Oh, God, you must have been popular, Matt. Prank calls. General Cheeseburger was saying, I like the French lady and the way she says cheeseburger. How much did she cost? Is she cheaper than Mummy Roger Boaty? Well, the honest answer to that, Cheeseburger, is probably yes. I don't know exactly what Mother Roger Boaty charges, having not had the pleasure. And Inez, the nice French lady, doesn't charge me at all. So, yeah, in my experience, she is definitely cheaper. Tesco arrived today, says Trace. Chocolate and wine delivered to your front door. Who'd have thunk it back in the olden days of the 70s? Had to walk miles just for a chippy tea. Yeah, but you got to walk back with the package held upright, all in paper, and you ripped open the top and the vinegary steam came out and tickled your nostrils, and it was all just joyful and wonderful, and the bag of chips kept your hands warm. Oh, those were the days. You know, when curry always came in a separate container, none of these polystyrene crappy things, and they just pour the curry directly onto your food. I hate that. I want my curry in a proper thing so that I can drink straight out of the curry cup. I used to do that. I used to order curry sauce on its own just so I could drink it. And I can't be the only one who did that. When you drain the curry sauce pot, you had to break open and break it down and remove like half of it so you could get your tongue right in and get the last little bits of curried deliciousness out. Don't tell me I'm the only one to do that, because I won't believe you. What's the wine, Boaty, says Trace? Fucking awful, that's what the wine is. The shelves were bare at Saint Bob's tonight. There was hardly anything in the way of salad and vegetables, and the bloody house wine shelf was empty as well. So I've ended up with, it was number 1 dry, so I thought oh God, it's bloody Sauvignon Blanc, isn't it? Crisp and delicate. Let's see if it's any better when it's half frozen. I mean, you don't expect wine that, you know, from the cheapo house range to be nice, but at least the house dry and the Pinot Grigio are, you know, relatively palatable. They don't kick your head in as they drop down your little red lane. This, on the other hand, oh, it's a little bit better being a bit colder, but it has got a horrendous acidic aftertaste. Never mind. After the first 2 or 3 bottles, I expect it'll be okay. Yeah. Where do I get to? Boaty's gone teetotal due to 1 sip of vinegar wine. And Cheeseburger says, freeze your wine. I agree. For God's sake, the only thing that can save this wine is freezing the absolute arse out of it. Oh, now then. I caught it. This is a gentleman that was with us last night. I think he's a gentleman. Well, it is. It's a guy. That guy from SETI Alpha 5. And he says, hello, sir. And I've realised now that this is a new subscriber, a new member of our community who was born and bred not far from here, Derby, to be precise, on the edge of the Peak District, and very much a Peak District boy. But he now lives over the heading pond all the way in Missouri. And he found this channel and our little community of madness through Mustard, through Project Nigel. And he has subscribed and he favours us with his company. He always fancied a K-series, but they scared him. But I think he said he did have, you've gone on the wonk. You weren't on the wonk earlier. I double checked you and you've wonked. You've wonked over to one side. I won't accept this. I will not accept this kind of behaviour from you. Anyway, the point is one of us, he's from Derby. He remembers the Peak District from his formative years. And it's a pleasure to welcome him. Can I ask you, sir, as you have, that's better. Try and stay like that, please. as you have quite a long YouTube username, that guy from SETI Alpha 5, may I ask your actual name? Is it okay if we're on a first name basis, like I am with all of these other bastards, all of these other lovely people? Oh, and underscores come in with his trademark. Can of pop, anyone? I didn't realise that was his catchphrase, but apparently it is. Trisha Alderman is with us and says, good evening. Oh, a very good question from our new friend. How is Derek doing? Well, I'll probably answer that in more depth, but let me tell you succinctly and in a nutshell what has happened with me and Derek. Today I gave him his first really good hosing off, a bit of a rub down, selected one little area and gave him a polish, put a video of that on Facebook, drove him to work tonight, drove him home in the dark with that beautiful pre-facelift amber glow. I'll tell you exactly what has happened with me and Derek. I have fallen head over heels in love with him. Every additional mile that I do in him, the love affair just gets deeper. He is an utterly, utterly fabulous little car. Utterly fabulous. And as I said in the video on the way home, the idea of trying to sell him to any of you lot, or anybody else for that matter, is like getting this amazing new girlfriend that excites you more than you've been excited in a long time. You head over heels in lust with her, and you go around your friends trying to suggest that they have her instead of you. It's madness. It's crazy. I do not want to part with that car. I just don't. It's fabulous. It's amazing. I love the way that engine performs. It's a bit weird. It's a bit quirky. It it has to be driven in a certain way, otherwise it doesn't really work. And I love that. It rewards an involved driving style, and I love that. Everything works on it. Everything works. The clock works. The stereo sounds amazing. The heater blower works on all 4 settings. Central locking works. Mechanically, it's brilliant. There's not a clunk, not a bang. It drives amazingly well. All it needs is a clean-up, a really good valet inside, which I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. It's a little bit dirty and a little bit pongy, but I'll soon cure that. And then it just needs 1 or possibly 2 wings, which are 60 quid, brand new. And do that, and you've got an absolutely amazing little car. And I don't want anybody else to have that amazing little car. So they warned me this would happen. But I've fallen head over heels. I adore it. And I don't want it to go anywhere. To the extent that I know it's the wrong colour, but honestly, the way I feel at the moment, I'd get rid of all the others. Get rid of them and get blue ones instead. Now, obviously, I'm not actually able to do that, and the car is up for sale, in theory. But I can tell you this, I will be making bloody sure that that car goes to an amazing home. An amazing home. I'm not going to let that car go to waste. And it's super low mileage. 62,000 miles. Nothing. For a 21-year-old car, a 21-year-old diesel. And that diesel will do 1 million miles without thinking about it. So Derek is fabulous and I love him. And he looks better for being a bit cleaner. There's a long way to go on the paintwork, depending on, you know, whether you want him like finished to my standards or to mustard standards, which are 2 very different things. But I'm more anal about the inside than mustard is, and I flatter myself that when it comes to valeting, I do a better job inside than Mustard does. I go the extra mile that he doesn't so much. I will use a paintbrush on all of the nooks and crevices. I dress all of the plastics. Not with that dreadful stuff that makes it all dreadfully shiny and glary, but with a nice thing that actually nourishes the plastics, like Olatrol does on the outside, and keeps them looking natural but fantastic in the long term. And so yeah, that's Derek. And tomorrow he will be earning his salt, and this is where Mickey's £5 is going to. If you're in the Facebook group, you might remember that I posted about an absolute bargain I found for the Land Rover lunches. A load of outdoor camping, cooking stuff that I needed. A bigger version of the fold-up small table. A cooking stand thing with a cupboardy bit underneath. A really nice fold-up director's type chair with a built-in table. All top of the range and all brand new. Just about or just over 300 quid's worth. 40 quid. And so I pounced on that, didn't I? But then the guy disappeared. I didn't hear anything. And then out of the blue tonight, he pinged me a message saying, really sorry for the late reply, this, that and the other. Yeah, they're available. Do you still want them? And I said, yes, please. Can I collect them at the end of the day? And he said, yeah. Can you come around tomorrow? I said, I certainly can. How about 1 o'clock? He said, fine. And he gave me the address. And it's in Sheffield. So tomorrow I will be going to Sheffield. I'm getting up earlier these days. I'm getting into summer mode. I'm not feeling the urge to hibernate in bed. I don't set alarms or anything like that. I'm just naturally waking up and wanting to get out of bed. It's a circadian, or whatever you call it, rhythm thing, isn't it? You know, time of year, the sun, the increased warmth or the less cold. And I was up before 9 this morning, believe it or not, which is another reason why this won't go on forever tonight, darlings. You know, the 2 o'clock days are going to be gone until next winter, because I'm getting up in the mornings and I'm doing stuff. I was editing before 9 o'clock this morning. Can you believe that? And I got the video all finished off and uploaded and all ready to go well before 12 o'clock, which gave me a chance to film today's video, which is, you know, cleaning the car, going down to the garage, dropping the wheels down for Stigbürt, all of that sort of thing. I've not been behind all day. I've kind of been ahead of myself, which is nice. And it'll be the same tomorrow. I'll be up at a decent time. I'll edit tomorrow's video, and then I'll get my ass out to Sheffield, and so that'll be a bit of video, because I'll go the pretty way and I'll go in Derek, and then I can show you the bits that I've bought, assuming, touch wood, everything goes all right tomorrow when I do get them. And then there'll probably be some Land Rover stuff, because they'll need to live in the Land Rover. Oh yeah, and hopefully the wind deflectors so kindly sent to me by the lovely Joe Cox will arrive at some point tomorrow, and that'll be another bit of video fitting those. And then it'll be time to go to work again. So it's all go, innit? But everything's fabulous at the moment. I love this time of year. Oh, God. Drinking that is like being assaulted in the street. Hey ho, it'll still get me there, won't it? How are you lot anyway? All of this talking about me. What's going on with you lot? Oh, now then. Right, before I forget, and I hope you won't mind my sharing this. I don't think he's going to be watching, but just bear in mind for the next time he pops up. I had a text off our friend Mike, Classic Wheels Wales. Most of you know him. Lovely, lovely guy, of course. I think you all know that he had a bit of a tragedy recently, and yesterday was his brother's funeral, and he sent me a text to say that it was the hardest day of his life. He asked me to thank each and every one of you for your kind words and thoughts over the last period, and let's keep him in our mind. Let's send positive thoughts and wishes. You know, I've been where he is now. I'm sure that some, if not many, of you guys will have too. So let's send a lot of thought and love his way, and hope that it finds its way to him. And when he feels ready and comes back to be amongst us, let's just make a bit of fuss of him, eh? Bless him. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, and he's in a not dissimilar situation to me. He's lost a bit of his support network, possibly why we get on so well. We've got so much in common, but I didn't get a chance to reply to the text. He texted me while I was driving home, and I only got home about 10 minutes before starting this. But yeah, so let's just keep him in there. And that goes to all of the rest. I know that we've all got stuff going on. We've all got stuff we're dealing with. So let's just make it a perpetual thing that as a community, we all just bloody send out a continual virtual hug or arm around each other, because we've all got shit that we're dealing with. And if we haven't at this moment, we might have in the next moment. So let's just keep this a happy, positive place where we just give a bit of a shit about each other, which is what we've done from day one. And I love it for that, and I love you for that. And somebody has done a nice thing. I've got enough. Oh, blimey, it's Psychonaut 7 again. My goodness me. It's sausage. That's really kind of you, mate. It's bless him. What an incredibly generous chap. It's another super chat from Psychonaut 7. Who is just, you've got no idea what a difference it makes, mate. That's all I can say. That is all I can say, and I am incredibly, incredibly grateful. Obviously, Stigbürt is an ongoing thing, and every penny's going to help there. Pingu, I don't know if you're watching, mate. I did what you suggested. The listing that you pointed out, I took that down to the garage. I was going to order it today, and I just showed it to them and said, is this okay to order? And they kind of said, no. It's not that it's the wrong thing, it's just that it's too much of an unknown quantity. He said that, you don't know what state it was in when it was taken off, how long it's been sitting. He said the bearings could be shot, and then, we're going to strip it, put it on. That's going to cost money. You're going to drive 50 yards down the road and the bearing could be screaming its tits off, and we've got to take it back and do it all over again, and it's going to end up costing double. So what they've told me to get is to find a fresh breaker or a trusted dealer source. Somebody suggested Tom Force. I'm going to give him a shout tomorrow, and just get the complete unit all in one, where we know that it's okay. I did put a shout out in one of the Facebook ZT groups Didn't get anything back other than somebody tagging Tom Force, who I have spoken to before, not about the ZT, but about Henrietta Pie, actually. He was the guy that was going to do the heater matrix in Henrietta Pie for me. So that's the route that I'm going to need to go down. It's probably going to be more expensive initially to get the complete thing from somebody like Tom or somebody similar. But it's probably going to be an economy in the long run. You know what they say, do a job better. What is it? Do a job cheaply, do it twice, or something like that. Oh yeah, and the disc protector was no good on that one as well, or it looked a bit dodgy. It was all a bit rustified. So yeah, so I need to find an alternative. So any and all of these few quids that you're pinging at me are going to go into the pot for that, and they're going to make a real difference. So thank you, Psychonaut. Thank you, Mickey. And it's going to be a struggle, and I really appreciate the help, and I will repay the kindness in any way that I can as we toddle on. I'll give you the chance to buy the mighty Derek, who I don't want to sell. I want to keep him. He's fabulous, honest to God. And that's not a sales pitch. That's not me doing a mustard. Honest to God. Right, just come and drive him. Not because you want to buy him or anything like that. Just, if you're local, come and drive him, and then you tell everybody that I'm not going mad. You tell everybody the experience of, oh God, he's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Somebody on Mustard's video, the Mustard's collection video, which I thought was brilliant. I actually sent Mustard a message after the live stream last night. We'd been, kind of briefly chatting before bed. We often do. And he said, oh, the video's live. We'd mentioned it on the live stream. He was asking whether we should put it up that night. So after the live stream, I watched it and I just thought, oh, that's brilliant. And I remembered what mine was going to be like. And I actually sent him a message saying, look, I'll deny having ever said this, but I wish that I could make videos as good as yours. But I know I never will. And I will deny saying that, but I sent it because it's true. I am jealous. I think I'm better at live streams, but I think his videos are amazing. Some of them appeal to me more than others, but generally speaking, and I put this on record and got questioned over it in the comments, I think he's a genius. I genuinely do, and I loved that video last night. I thought it was really good. I thought it was well filmed, well edited, well put together. And why was I talking about it? I can't remember why I brought that up. I was gonna say something, and now I can't remember what the bloody hell it was. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Somebody commented on it. I prefer Eric. You wouldn't. If you lived with the two, if you spent 2 days with one and then 2 days with the other, you would never prefer Eric. Eric is great and he's greatly enhanced by the leather interior, but it's a facelift, and there's just I push the facelifts. I love Brian Johnston. I did a couple of videos saying don't dismiss the facelift just because of this, that and the other. But when push comes to shove, and I was asked this at Rover Joe. Rover Joe asked me this at the Furious Driving Do. He said facelift or pre-facelift. And I said, that's, you know, in 25s. And I said, that's kind of impossible to answer because there are aspects of each that I prefer. So I suppose my ideal would be a hybrid between the two. And then I realised that it wouldn't. My ideal would be having one of each, which is exactly what I've got. It's exactly what Mustard's got now with Nigel and Eric. But put the two back to back, you're always going to go for the pre-facelift. You just are. The interior is just so cosseting. It's like sitting in a wingback chair in front of an open fire. I said that in the video tonight as well. Anyway, let's crack on with comments before I get too far behind. Where did I get to? Oh, I got to there, didn't I? Matt might offer 15 quid on a green ZR spoiler. I saw the silver one for sale for 30, and I quite fancy that for Brian Johnston. Simon says, there once was a young man from... That doesn't scan, Simon. There once was a young man from Lower Swell. That is all. Okay. Vinegary steam, oh yeah. Curry sauce down in Cornwall is in a separate pot, says Joe Cox, the way it should be. And the chippy near me does come in a poly cup. Yeah, all chippies will put it in a poly cup, but if you order sausage and batter, chips and curry sauce, and it's in a polystyrene tray, they put it on there, I find, and you have to ask for it to be separate. You know, if you were ordering it as an extra, as an accoutrement amongst a larger order, then yeah, they'll put it in. But if they do like a special, sausage and batter, chips and curry sauce, a lunchtime special, you're going to get it plastered on. I don't want that. I want the full curry sauce experience. I want it in a Poe. I want it in an Edgar Allan. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm about an hour behind on the comments, aren't I? I know I am. I'm having so much fun with Derek. Sorry, hashtag not sorry. Oh, I'll give you an update on the keys in a moment. I must catch up with the comments. And I'm excited about the Land Rover lunch stuff. Oh, it's really nice. What a bargain. Oh, excuse me. I'm mega excited about the wind deflectors. Right, okay. Comments. Bad Books is with us. Good evening, all. Steve Cole. Joe Cox liked this one. What's the wine? Fucking awful. It was. Oh, lots of people are getting their curry sauce in a poly cup. That's good. Cheeseburger says that tongue action on curry cups helped in later life. Didn't it just? Yeah. I'm quite the fan of a bit of yodeling in the canyon. And I've told you this before, but my first American girlfriend, when I first went out to the States, it's my favourite way ever of a woman asking for oral sex. Here's a subject. Have you experienced women asking for oral sex? Because now I come to think about it, I haven't. I can't remember. Oh, I can actually. I can remember a couple. But generally speaking, in my experience, they tend not to ask for it. Do men ask for it more? Do you do it in a jokey way? Like, well, you're down there, love. That sort of thing. But Robin, I've told you many times before the phrase, but when she fancied a bit of spousal mouthery, she would say, honey, there's cherry pie at the Y. And that just tickled me. And so I tickled her. Anyway, enough of that. We don't want to talk. This is a family live stream. We don't want to be talking about tongue waggery. Goodness gracious me. What's this world coming to? It's not bad enough we were talking about 69s on bloody Mustard's video. A meal for two with a hairy view. Outrageous. I'll be getting demonetised at this rate for lewd filth. I like a bit of lewd filth. Oh, and Simon says, I've never been to a Chippy where they didn't leave the cutty separate. Have I just been unlucky in my choice of chippies? The one local to Mustard, you have to ask. Otherwise it goes on there, mate. That's can't remember what it's called. It's a brilliant chippy. Haven't been for ages because Mustard doesn't like going anymore. He only wants to go to the Milkston Road. He's become all sophisticated and international. Oh, I did know that, Matt. Chas Brown says, hi, Bo, he just joined. What are you drinking? An absolutely dreadful Sauvignon Blanc, but it's, oh, I need to put it back in the freezer. I'm freezing the shit out of it, and it's becoming very slightly, well, I was going to say more palatable, but a more accurate description would be less unpalatable. Not through choice, it was the only dry option on the Sainsbury's £4.50 house wine shelf. You know, I mean, if I was a big famous YouTuber like Hubner or JM on Cars or Furious Driving or Project Nigel, then you wouldn't catch me arsing about with this shit. No, I'd be on that £8 a bottle beautiful stuff that Matt introduced me to. Oh yeah, every night I'd be on that. Corkscrew, cork out, the full works. But, you know, when you are an utter and abject failure in life, you have to be punished. And I am being punished by drinking this. So if you look at me and think, well, you are a complete failure in virtually every single sense, and you deserve to be punished, then let me put your minds at rest. I'm being fully punished, and I'm taking my punishment like a man, or like a squealing little girl anyway. Not so bad when it's on the edge of being frozen. Try Vim2 in your wine. No, thank you. If you stream until 1 o'clock, says Cheeseburger, the wine will be okay. Yeah, at 1 o'clock, bloody methylated spirits would be okay. Oh, Simone is here. Evening, Boaty. Oh, dear. Today was difficult. I'm struggling with a few things. Forced myself out of the house. I totally understand that. If you're fortunate enough not to struggle with a few things, as many of us do, that one phrase that Simone says, force myself out of the house, that rings so true. Because when you're on a downer, when you're on a dark day, when the black dog has got you, then leaving the house is a major, major struggle. So I totally get that. And before I read on, well done for forcing yourself to get your ass out of the house. Got an inner tube replacement for Foldy McFoldface and then went food shopping. Good on you, good on you. Dinner consisted of cheese on toast with beans and then follows that up with hello all. So let's all give Simone a hug. She's having a bad one, happens. We all get them. Maybe some of you are getting them. Maybe some of you have had one today. Let us know, we'll give you a hug. I'm feeling in a very warm, fraternal and huggy and tactile mood. I'm not, or I never used to be, a huggy and tactile man, but in my old age, I'm becoming more moist and tactile and huggy, which which is probably concerning to many of you who were thinking of meeting me at a car show. You might not want to be hugged by a tactile and moist old fat gentleman. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, we're sending Simone some love. That's nice. I had doner meat and a pita bread for dinner, says Simon. From a takeaway, Simon? Or was it some of the frozen stuff that you can buy from those economy supermarkets? Oh, excellent. That guy from SETI Alpha 5, who's actually from... Oh, we were doing so well. I thought we were going to get away with it tonight. And I was in mid-flow. What a time to cut me off. But ladies and gentlemen, please meet Barry. Barry, meet everyone. You're very welcome here, mate. Thanks for joining us. Cheers. Bottoms up. Okay. If this internet is going to go mad again, then we're not going to cope with the frustration for too long. If the internet goes again, I'm going to cut off at about midnight. Can't be doing with it. I'm not convinced that it's not the phone. And I did experiment today because I wondered if this might happen. And I wonder if this phone is just on its way out. I've struggled with filming it a few times. It started freezing. I've noticed that even on Wi-Fi things are slow to load. And to be honest, I think the phone is just coming to the end of its working life. And as we know, I can't use the other phones for live streams using their internal mic for the reasons I've discussed before. I had a practice at doing a live stream today on my iPhone X using my cheap eBay microphone. Now, the sound was shit, I'll be honest with you, but better than having all of that background noise. So if this phone is gonna die, we'll have to make do with the iPhone X and the shit microphone, and I will do my level best to get a better microphone. If anybody's got a suggestion for a better microphone, I did ask this before, as cheaply as possible, like a minimum standard, do let me know. Simon says the one that he's got is quite good. Certainly sounds okay on his videos. That wasn't stupidly expensive. I think he said it was about 30 quid, something like that. And I had a look for those, and there seemed to be a generic one, like my Lavalier is, but like a bit of a step up. And they're in a case, and you can charge them in the case. And for a little bit extra, you can get a double mic, so you can have two of you, which would be, you know, really useful at times. So I think the time is coming where I'm going to have to force myself to upgrade. Maybe wave a sad goodbye to this iPhone 6, which I've had for God knows how long, 8 years, something like that, which has been amazing. But yeah, I think it's just coming to the end of its serviceable life, and I'm going to have to go down the microphone route. It's something I should do anyway. I'll need it for doing Land Rover lunches, for recording stuff outside. You know, all the decent YouTubers use a microphone. So if any of you proper ones are watching, I'm thinking about Mark on Motoring. I'm thinking about 00 Garage. You, Simon. Any of you guys, please give me an idiot's guide to a microphone, as in, ping me a link to one telling me I've tried this will be fine, and you know, then I'll just raise the money and buy that one, and I'd be really grateful. Thank you so much. Where did I get to? Right, oh yes, we've just met Barry, haven't we? Cheeseburger says, the picture is better tonight, or I'm a bit more sober. Well, I thought we were back on track tonight, but then you disappeared on me. Or I disappeared on you, or, you know, it just went tits up generally, really, didn't it? Okay, I think that's an in-joke there. Mickey, is your wife called Donna by any chance? That's just a guess there. Simon says, get Derek sold. He needs to generate you money. Yes, you're right, Simon. He does. And it's not like I have a choice about this. I do not own Derek. This is a project that is not being funded out of my own pocket because, as you all know, my own pocket is empty. So I don't have, the truth is I don't have the option of keeping Derek. I wish I did, but I don't. So he is up for sale, but he is absolutely, he's just fabulous. He's brilliant. He really is. Keep Derek, says Joe. He needs an owner that will look after him and restore him, etc. Well, that's not me, is it? I mean, I'll look after him, but I don't do much in the way of restoring because I'm constantly bloody skint, aren't I? You know, the same jobs that Derek needs doing, Shison needs doing as well. He needs a wing and a bit of attention to the bottom of the drivers. This is really depressing me now because it interrupts the flow. I have to keep remembering to keep looking up at you and not reading the comments to make sure that you're still there. And I don't know why this is happening. I think it's got to be the phone. Tomorrow night, we might have an experiment with the iPhone X and the cheap microphone just to try and stop this from happening. If it happens on that, then we know that it's my internet connection. But I've got a sneaky feeling that it's the phone, that the phone is, the processor is just buggered and running slowly and won't cope with the live stream very well. And that's why the picture was bad last night. So, you know, we're gonna have to upgrade. We'll soldier on as we are for another 10 or 20 minutes or whatever. But apologies again, it's as frustrating for me as it is for you. What I'm taking from this story of Derek is that Boaty has kept all of our Romanian brides for his bloody self, the swine. Ukrainian, not Romanian, man. Oh, and Joe says, sell other cars of the fleet. Derek would make the most sense for me. He's the most sensible daily. But, yeah, you know, I am committed to all of the others. I've got a personal connection with all of the others. And Derek will be sold. I'm just loving him. If he was silver, then there wouldn't even be a question. I would sell my kidney to make sure that I kept him. But Derek will be sold. And whoever gets him is getting a bloody fabulous car. And I'm going to enjoy this week or however long it is that I get to spend with him. Minimum a week. Assuming that Brian Johnston is sorted, then there'll be a swap over next Monday. Possibly. Or my plan is that next Monday, Mustard and I will be going out on another collection caper for another car. Not that I've found one yet. I've got a few possibles. But it'll be, so it might be a swap over next Monday for another new car. Who knows? We will see. Watch this space. Where do I get to? Derek sounds like Layla all over again. When Clapton took Patty Boyd off Harrison. Oh dear. Trace says, I love the colour and look of Derek to the point where I looked him up to see if he's ULEZ compliant. And he's not. Oh, is he not? Boaty and Mustard, worst car dealers ever. No. No, we're doing it right this time. We're doing it right this time. Yeah, we haven't done anything wrong yet. Put it that way. Okay, I might be in love with the car, but he's there. He's for sale. You could come along tomorrow and buy him, and he's still got about 30 quid of diesel in him, and he's cleaner now, and he'll get cleaner every day. I'm going to start on the interior soon. Sell Stigbürt instead. Well, I can't at the moment because he's broken, and I kind of love Stigbürt. The Arthur Daly of the Peak, says Mickey. They can't be trusted to buy and sell anything, says Simon. That's not fair. We've bought him and he's for sale. We're talking to people. We have interested parties. I've received offers. It's happening. It is happening. We're doing it. We're doing it. And there's going to be more to come. I am working behind the scenes with my little team at sourcing more cars. Yeah. Actually, you wait and see. We'll prove you wrong. They're like Swiss Tony. We are a bit. Boaty says, Bad Books, I really don't understand how you can fall in love with a car. I just can, easily. I've got a love affair going on with each and every one of my cars. And if I didn't have a love affair going on with them, they wouldn't be here. Where do we get to? Underscore says to Bad Books, it seems he falls in love with every car. I'm amazed he's only been married once. Yeah, but I was almost married many other times. I've been engaged 11 or 12 times. And I've only been married once, but I have booked and paid for 3 weddings. Thankfully, I've only been divorced once, which is the really expensive bit. But it's not unusual, right? If I go out and buy a car, and remember, I make a lot of sacrifices to run cars. So if I go out and buy one, find a way to buy one, it's going to be a car that I love. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, would I? So yeah. I work hard, I build up to the cars, and yeah, I love them all, and I do fall in love with them. I didn't expect to fall in love with Derek, admittedly, but if you drove him, Matt, you would love him too. I guarantee you. Maybe not at first. If you drove him for 2 days, you would fall in love, especially coming from a Streetwise, because you would fall in love with all of the pre-facelift stuff and the edging on pre-Project Drive stuff. I know you would. Oh, thanks, Jimmy. End of the day, it's a shit diesel. No, I'm not having that. Oh, Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger says, Bad Books, he's just said he's more anal. Look out, Derek. Oh dear. 40 quid is a bloody bargain, talking about the lunch outside stuff. It certainly is. I think they've had a lottery win, says Simon. Lots of spending going on. No, not at all. Just a new partnership is all with... well, I'm not going to tell you who with. If they want to tell you who they are, that's fine. I'm not going to. I shall simply refer to them as the banker. I can assure you that neither Mustard nor I are spending our own money. If you are into catting, says Simone, what's catting? You must scratch the person you are shagging in the car. Puke in their shoes, then ask to be fed. Oh, I see. Right, okay. Right. I do remember that my Land Rover wind deflectors are coming tomorrow, Joe, and I'm incredibly excited about that. How far am I behind on these bloody comments? Oh, sorry now. Let's whiz through them. I only got married when I stopped falling in love with any bloke who wanted to shag me round the back of the pub, says Trace. And then follows it up by saying that was only half a joke. Oh, if you want to finish early, Dottie, keep up with the bloody comments. Yes, I know. I'm doing it. Right, yes. Oh, bad books. Says to Cheeseburger, Mustard and Boaty selling cars is much like making love to a beautiful woman. I loved Swiss Tony. Yeah, you need to look them in the eyes and keep apologising. I'm not going to Sheffield for a massage, Jimmy Quinn. I'm not going to the Attercliffe Road. I'm going to this side of Sheffield, somewhere around the other side of, what's it called, Low Edges or whatever it is. The bit I go through on the way to the casino. I've got, God, am I this far behind? We're sending good wishes to Mike. I hope Mike reviews this video and feels the love. I agree. God, I can't believe how far. Oh God, how far behind am I? Rover Joe is with us. Jolly good. I'm 20 minutes behind already. I'm catching up now. Rover Joe. Diddly do. If I had the... Matt says, if I had the balls to make a video, I'd accept the collection capers offer from Nigel Fleck to fetch back bullets from Jesmond Dean. I'd call it Biting the Bullet, as it would be my first video. That sounds rather good. Trace is bare. That's good to know. Simon says, facelift diesel 3-door 25 or saloon 45. Strip it out and lower it, then chip it. Fun times. And then we're all telling Matt that he really should do some videos. Rover Joe says, I have the ultimate 25. A pre-project drive with all the nice bits still intact. Illuminated ignition barrel. I am a bit jealous of that, Rover Joe, but I have got 2 of the vehicles on my fleet do have an illuminated ignition barrel. I asked Mustard to guess this the other day, and he got it right. So I'll ask you, in fact, right. Giveaway time, £100,000 giveaway time. Okay? First person who answers this correctly gets this £100,000 scratch card. Okay. Which 2 vehicles on my current fleet have an illuminated ignition barrel? First correct answer wins the scratch card. Please allow 28 days for delivery. I still haven't sent Mr. Bed and Breakfast his yet. I will. It's not just comments I'm all behind on, it's everything else. I'm hungry now. Curry for supper, in case you were wondering. Keep going, internet, you're doing a grand job. Right, come on. Come on, Boaty. Work through this. You can do it. You can do it. Right, yes, okay. I prefer Joan Collins pre-facelift. Is that a name for a car? Yes, Cheeseburger. One of us needs to have a car called Joan Collins because you preferred it pre-facelift. Yes. George is with us, fabulous. Right, Simon's offering to do a bit of filming with Matt. That would be good. I'd like to see that. More drain cleaner wine. Yeah, absolutely. Nigel Fleck says, _, make the video, do the drive up here in your car, and we'll go for the bullets in one of my cars. It'll be a laugh and you'll enjoy it. Rover Joe says, Boaty, I have plenty of videos coming up with my 25. I went to a scrapyard and got all the lovely bits my 25 is missing, like electric mirrors and windows. Derek's got them. Also got the operated throttle body. Oh, fair play. I also got a new gear stick gator, so I'll do some videos on it, as I remember you said you needed a new gator on yours. You got a good memory, yeah, Derek could do with one. I've done the gator on the Land Rover, and I'm very proud of myself for doing that. And I did an okay job, actually. Trace says, Simon, if you did vids with Matt, that would be a great intro for Matt into the YouTube madness. I agree. I'm not reading that out. God, how far behind am I? Oh, bloody hell. Cheeseburger says, Hubnut doesn't drink. That might be what his problem is. Oh, Cheeseburger says, I drove past your old garage today on my way from Ulster to Brum. Is it a fishing shop now? Portway Restaurant is being converted into a high-end cafe. Right, my old garage, Cheeseburger, has been split up. I think my old main showroom is now the fishing shop. My auction halls are something else. My other halls are something else. My yard is something else. My forecourt is something else. My place was huge. When you look at that, when I was there, it was the whole thing. And now it's been split up into about 6 or 7 different business premises, I think. I mean, it's a long time since I've been there, in all honesty. It's a long time since I've even driven past, because I've got no reason to these days. When my dad was alive, and I was caring for him and going down every week, then obviously I'd come off at Junction 3 and I'd drive past and I'd see what was going on. But Dad's been dead a few years now, and I've had no reason to go back to Redditch or that area. The closest I've come is just driving down the 42 when I'm on my way to South Wales. So I've got no idea what's going on there now, to be honest with you. Oh, and now we're saying hello to Barry. I'm catching up. Oh, Michael phones. Julius just bought a wireless one for 13 quid. I only paid a tenner for mine, and that's wireless, but it's no bloody good. I want a better one, not a cheap one. And that one of yours, Simon, it looked better. And I'm never sure when you're using it and when you're not. And that is probably a sign that it is better, because you can certainly tell when I was using mine, because my voice went to sounding shit. Simone says, wish I could afford a decent microphone. And apparently there are a few cheap ones that are reasonable quality these days. Give me a link to one. I'm not reading that out, Matt. How far away are we with the comments? Oh God, a long way. How does this happen? Oh no, I don't want the internet to half our chat. I'm enjoying this time. I know it's a nightmare. I hate it. Diddly do. I haven't denied keeping them. I'm still working on the Ukrainian thing, Matt. Time is the enemy at the moment. There's so much going on, and now obviously with this new project, which is a new old project, it's a resumption of a project that we failed at. And we're trying not to fail at it this time. We've made a few pivotal changes. So that's the idea with that. I just hope whoever gets Derek looks after him and restores him to the best he can be. I hope so too. How much is the diesel Rover worth? How much is the diesel Rover worth? Asked Jimmy Quinn. What, the one that you described as just a shit diesel? Well, probably according to you, about 50 quid. But that's a good question. How much is it worth? It has different values, Jimmy, and they're going to be subjective. It is a low mileage, great workhorse turbo diesel car. That gives it one value. It's a pre-facelift Rover 25. That gives an additional value. And it has potential to be an incredibly practical and usable modern classic. And it could be a very beautiful car with relatively minimal outlay. And so that would give it another value. So it's worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. But if you want me to put an absolute value on it, then, well, I suppose you would say the absolute value is a scrap value, but it's not a scrap car. It's as far as I can tell, it's a mechanically perfect, low mileage turbo diesel car. So I suppose that as just a runabout MOT'd driving perfectly turbo diesel, then in today's market, I suppose that it's got to be worth what? You know, if it was something like a Fiesta or something like that, I don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me. You tell me what it's worth. People don't know what love is. Oh, okay. Apparently a few people are struggling with comments. They keep swapping to the top. The only people in Boaty's fleet are wheeler dealers. They can make a series out of them. I've had a couple of diesel cars, says Matt, so I would... Oh, bloody hell, cheeseburger. Boaty put 30 quid in the tank, so that's the value of the car, is it? The value of the diesel in it. Somebody's going to bed. Who's that? Oh, Stigbürt. Good night to you, sir. Oh, right. Oh, correct guess. Right, lottery scratch card time. We have a winner on the which of the two cars on my fleet to have an illuminated doings thing. Key, ignition, barrel, illumination, key, barrel, illuminated thingy. Let me just check that it is the first comment. Bear with. Yeah, Joe Cox is our winner, ladies and gentlemen, who correctly says that the two cars on my fleet with an illuminated ignition barrel are Miss Boo, the Land Rover Freelander, and Wetleg, the MGTF. So congratulations, sir. Ping me your address and I will get your £100,000 almost guaranteed winning scratch card off to you within the next 28 days or so. Probably at the same time that I eventually send poor old Mr. Bed and Breakfast, who's already been waiting for a while. And we're getting some more guesses coming in. Yeah, you kind of did that. Thank you, Joe. Right, I've got that. Log that in. Did I arrive as everyone was leaving? Kind of looks like that. Trace said Stigbürt and Boo. No, you got one. Simone says Stigbürt. No, Stigbürt has not got an illuminated doings. Simon says the two vehicles are Boo and Brian. Boo, yes. Brian, no. Matt says Wetleg and Stigbürt. No. Wetleg, yes. Stigbürt, no. Your lawnmower and your push bike, says Cheeseburger. Jimmy Quinn. I love Jimmy Quinn sometimes. Jimmy Quinn's answer is, who gives a fuck? You've got to love Jimmy. Right? Now, if you didn't know him, you could take offence when he says all of this about your table shit, your car shit. Who gives a fuck about your £1 scratch card giveaways? The reason that we can laugh with him is because he is one of the most loyal and staunch supporters of this channel. There's not a video he doesn't watch. He comments on every video to show he watched it, and he's first in on every live stream. He's bloody amazing, and I love him to bits. And his caustic comments like that just make me laugh out loud. And I loved it when he went in on one of the scratch card giveaways. Who gives a fuck? Who needs a scratch card? It's all bollocks. And then he guessed and guessed correctly and won. Which, that was brilliant. And Matt says cheeseburger should win. Yeah. Matt says, do we know if all channel membership gifts were claimed? If not, non-members may want to claim them. No, they weren't. I think I've currently got 36 channel members, and I already had 16. So, as far as I can tell, only 20 of the 60 channel memberships so kindly gifted by Psychonaut7, only 20 of them were claimed. And I don't know why that is. I don't know how that works. Everybody who was on that live stream got one. I don't know why they weren't carried over to another live stream or handed out to people who weren't on the live stream. I know that can happen. That's how I got my Hubnut one that I've completely ignored. And I don't even get a shout out at the end of his videos by some random French tart. He's such an amateur, Hubnut. Not professional like me. He said, slurping his wine at gone midnight. So, I don't know why that is. If anybody else knows, do tell me. I mean, is it just that nobody else of my subscribers has ticked the box to say, I will accept gifts? That's the only thing I can think. But in theory, there should be about 40 channel memberships still floating about somewhere waiting to be claimed. There we are. Tricia says, Shison and Brian. Oh, no, 0 out of 2 there. Cheeseburger says, so your flat was above the fishing shop? Yes, it was. That's big. Yes, it was. It was a 5-bedroom flat with an enormous bathroom with a massive sunken jacuzzi. The kitchen was huge. I had a massive cooker. But yeah, that's where it was. And if you look to the left of the showrooms, as you look at them, then unless it's changed, there's a metal gate, and that leads into the stairs up to the flat. And my lovely staff members and colleagues, of a morning, because I was often the last one down, they would congregate outside the gate to see who came out of the gate, who'd stayed there the night before. And on the one occasion where I scored a memorable double, and there were 2 girls that everybody was after in the area. One worked in the petrol station, one worked behind the bar of the local pub. And one morning I walked downstairs with both of them, and word had got out that I'd gone home with both of them. And like a wedding march out, they'd lined the exit to the gate, and as the 3 of us walked out, they all gave me a round of applause. Oh dear. Oh, Julie says, Boaty, the mic I bought is the same as Simon's mic. He said he'll send you a link tomorrow. I saw one that looked the same, and it was cheap. It was like about 15, 16 quid. But I didn't know if it was the same one. Julie, have you used it? Is it good? Is it better than my cheapo rubbish one? Stephen S. Paul is with us. Fantastic. Oh, It's also a fantastic driver's car, says Pure Evil. Very rewarding if driven well. I know I'm smitten with mine. Totally on board with you there. I'm falling asleep, says Simon. Apologies if I disappear. I know what you think it's worth, Joe. You told me. I value it at more than that. I'm not going to mention the figures. I value it at more than that, to be honest. Certainly after driving it home tonight. I think, Joe, if you look at your upper figure, I think that you are about 150 or 200 quid away from owning it. And if you're seriously, genuinely looking for a car of that type, then I would honestly suggest to you, given that I've been around a lot of these cars and I know what they tend to be like generally, and I know this one quite well now, if you're genuinely in the market for one, don't lose this one for 150 or 200 quid. I know the logistics will be difficult for you. I'll try and help you out with that, you know, the collection and whatever. I'd like you to have the car. You're probably, well, from what you were saying earlier and what you were pointing out in terms of need of doing, I think you're definitely the right person for the car. But it's a low mileage turbo diesel, right? And it's got value on that, and the fact that it's mechanically bang on, everything works. The only issues with it are cosmetic. Now, some people, if they were buying it as a workhorse, they won't care about that. So you can't devalue it for that. And you can't devalue it because of what you would like to do with it and turn it into a show car, if you get what I mean. Now, I won't sell it to somebody who's going to use it as a workhorse, and I would rather it went to somebody who wanted to turn it into a show car. That would be my ideal dream for any of the cars that pass through my hands. But in terms of value, you can't knock it because you want to do a little bit more than is actually needed. That's a personal thing, and you can't knock that off the value of the car. I took everything you said on board. We're not a million miles away from each other. It is doable if you genuinely fancy it. And if it was going to take a little while longer to get the pennies together, I can work with you on that. So keep in touch, give me a shout, whatever. Bugger off, Jimmy, in the nicest possible way. I know mine was an absolute bargain at 1,500 quid back in 2016, if that helps the valuation. Couple of people are saying good night. It's getting to that sort of time. Well done, Joe, on winning the scratch card. The ignition barrel is illuminated so you know where to put your screwdriver when hot wiring it. Oh, dear. If there are 40 members outstanding, then the French tart will be busy getting a mouth around another 40. Oh dear. Right, thank God for that. I've caught up with the comments. And everybody seems to be saying good night, and I could do with getting off, given that I'm going to be up early again. I think I've told you pretty much everything I need to tell you. I've told you what's happening tomorrow. So, the internet, touch wood, God willing, is still holding up. And I think it's probably time we said good night. Should all Rovers have Viking names? No. So, Joe, yeah, there or thereabout. I can't guarantee it, but at that level, I would go into bat and say, yeah, this guy should have the car. It's below where there is interest elsewhere, but I would go into bat for you, sir, because oh, you've only ordered it today, Julie. Okay, but you are confident it'll be good because it's the same as Simon's. They also do a double mic. Simon also has that, and it works very well. It looks good, and I've seen. Okay, I think I know what I'm looking at now. And I think I might give one of those a go. Cheeseburgers off, says it's time to go, says thanks for the entertainment, love to everybody. So yeah, everybody say your good night. Let's all go nice and early-ish for a change, which feels good. I'll get some supper on the go. Catch up with whatever video Mustard has put out. Oh, thank you for watching tonight's video, you guys. Thanks for all the comments. Really appreciate that. It's doing quite well by my standards. Not by anybody else's, but by mine. I was going to update you on the keys. I'll do that tomorrow. And everything else. And exciting day tomorrow. Land Rover lunch gear, hopefully, touch wood. Wind deflectors, hopefully, touch wood. If I get time, a bit of starting the interior clean of Derek, and the interior is going to come up absolutely grand, and I'm looking forward to doing that, and carrying on with a bit more on the outside as well, just getting him looking respectable. Really enjoyed driving him tonight. You'll see that video tomorrow. Stop waffling on, boy. Play them out with the farts. Face ID. Turn it the other way around. Go back. Find the thing. Don't forget to unmute it. Where's it gone? Ah, there it is. There we go. Turn it up a bit. Fabulous. Reveal what wine situation? What cliffhanger? Oh, is it frozen? Is that what you mean? Let's have a look. Oh, darlings. Kind of frozen. Bloody hell. We rescued it just at the right time. And before the internet goes, let's all of us go. Thank you, everybody, for your company. I've loved tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 11 o'clock. Congratulations to Joe Cox on winning this potentially life-changing scratch card. You guys have a safe and peaceful night. Have a great day tomorrow. I'm going to take good care of yourselves. Love to Mike and anybody else who needs any love at the moment. And sleep tight. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.